Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I am coming to you live from Fountain Hills, Arizona, right next to the fountain, which may go off at any point. The sun is shining brightly above me, and I have something very quick to share with you. I won't be before you very long. Today is a 7-day, people, and we know that 7 is associated with the crown chakra. It is associated with the 7th chakra, which is associated with the color violet, and it is associated with the gateway to infinite intelligence, to rest, to peace, to clarity. It is sort of the moderator for all the other chakras, and is the interface between our complex, all of these chakras that reflect who we are. It is the interface, the 7 chakras, the interface between us and the rest of the universe and infinite intelligence. So the 7th chakra is awesome. Looks like the fountain is starting. I'm actually going to reverse this so you can see it. It's really awesome to see. I'll let you check it out. There it is. I see we've had some people join. Hi, Boyd. What's up, Boyd? Hi, Mother. My mother just joined. How are you, Mom? Excellent. And so I'm going to chat with you today about the Cosmic Census. So last year we had the 2020 census. As we know, the census happens every 10 years. And that census has been taking place as required by the Constitution for many hundreds of years, since 1790. And it was so weird, as someone who was one of the leaders of getting the census counted last year. I was so shocked at the number of people who felt that their rights were being encroached upon because they needed to be counted. Because you actually have to count the citizens of this country to determine how you want to draw the different lines of municipalities, how you're going to determine how many firehouses you're going to build, how many schools that need to be built, what kind of senior citizen buildings and places need to be built, libraries, schools, in order to be able to build things and to deal with our infrastructure here in the country. We have to do a count. And so there were so many people who were questioning whether or not it was against their constitutional rights to do the census. At any rate, I digress, because what I want to talk about is the Cosmic Census. Yeah, there's a Cosmic Census happening right now. And these are things that I just intuit. These are downloads that I get. These are things that I feel happening, and I'm just sharing them. But right now, what you're experiencing in your life, I don't care who you are, there's something going on right now where you're being tested, where someone is knocking on your door, spirit is knocking on your door and asking you, okay, so what's your name again? Oh yeah, and how long have you been living here? Okay, so what do you do for a living again? Oh, okay. See, because 10 years ago, you didn't do that, right? So we are now in a process of becoming something completely different than we were before. As you all know, there's a new age that we're in now. We moved from Pisces and we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're moving into an age where our blueprint, our true authentic blueprint of who we really are before we were born, before we went through some of the traumas that we endured, that really allowed us to expand and be the people that we are today. We are becoming now who we truly and authentically are. And that means that you really should not be the same person you were 10 years ago, or maybe 5 years ago. So there's a cosmic census that is now taking you through a couple of tests and trials. And it feels inconvenient, but for those of us who are doing the work and who know who we are, who are engaging in reflection and meditation and prayer, and are becoming more aware of our interactions with others, and who are checking ourselves and observing ourselves to make sure that we're not falling and lapsing back into expired patterns. Those of us who are put on trial, some of you are in court, those of us who have been accused of things that we're not guilty of, you're on trial. You are going to be in situations now where your integrity is being tested. And when I say integrity is being tested, I don't necessarily just mean your personality or your honesty. I mean the integrity. Let me give you an example. If someone builds a building in San Francisco, there are integrity tests. It has to be tested. The permit requires that, you know, the building, the structure, the framework meets certain tests of integrity. Can it withstand a particular type of earthquake? Whether it's a 5 or a 6 or a 7, can it withstand if the Earth's crust moves along the fault? Can it still stand and accommodate what it's supposed to accommodate according to the blueprint? Or what if a building is built in New Orleans where there's soil erosion and water erosion based on floods? Is a building in New Orleans that is on the Mississippi Delta, is that going to withstand the integrity tests that particular environment will perpetrate on it? So in the same way, we are now undergoing integrity tests that are based on our architecture, that are based on our framework, our makeup of who we actually are and who we are becoming. And so it is important that you are taking the time to get to know who you really are, to get to know what makes you tick, to get to know the new ways that you respond to stimuli and externalities, because it should be different from the way you used to be. Okay? So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the cosmic census that's going on right now all over the world. There's a cosmic census happening. There's someone knocking on your door. Spirit is knocking on your door. Your higher self is knocking on your door. You're going to be tested. You're going to be put on trial. But if you've done the work, if you know who you are, and you are now observing yourself and aware of yourself, so no one else has to police you, no one else has to police your behavior, no one else has to come to you and say, hey, sir, what are you doing? If you can police yourself, and if you can observe yourself and catch yourself when you're falling back into old or expired patterns, if you can do that so that you stay on the new track, the new trajectory of your life, so that you are fulfilled and you are marching towards that vision that you have for yourself, that newly created vision that is based on a new revelation of who you are, right? We all are undergoing transformation, large, huge transformations, not just me and not just you, but everybody you know. But everybody is not going to pass those integrity tests. Let's take a moment of silence for those people who are not going to pass the integrity test, okay? It's unfortunate, but there's going to be another census. The census comes periodically, and I don't know exactly when the next one is going to be, but I know that there are checkpoints that we all reach. When you get to a particular checkpoint after a certain number of lessons, when it's time to graduate or time to move to a different location or relocate to another cosmic point of reference, you're going to be tested, okay? And so when the census workers, when the cosmic census workers come to your door, just to confirm who you are, just to confirm that you still live there, because maybe you should have moved and you're answering the door and somebody new should have been answering that door, but you're still there. Following me? So there's a cosmic census happening. And I need you to be aware of it because it's real and it's happening. Let me give you some examples of some integrity tests that I've had recently. I have recently had the police stop me. I was not speeding. As a matter of fact, I was going really slow. And it stopped me and said that I was speeding, and stopped me and told me that I was speeding up to the other cars. And typically in the past, I would have gotten enraged and I would have said some things. And this time I was like, oh, okay, this is an interesting test. Let's see how this goes. And there's nothing he could do. He took my license and registration, went and ran him, and came back and said, sir, just want to warn you, I'll give you a warning that, that was a speed zone where you should have been going 35. It's normally 45, but it's actually 35 because there's doing some work. And I'm like, I don't see anybody working. Anyway, so he gave me my stuff back and I went along my merry way. I had a cryptic text from a friend that was just like, sort of like, I didn't know what was actually being expressed to me, but it gave me an opportunity to respond in a way that was defensive, and I would not. I was like, okay, this is a test. Thank you, universe. I'm going to pass it. Then I had another friend of mine who really put me on trial about something that I was like, I didn't know what that person was talking about or whatever, but instead of me getting defensive, I just sat back and I'm like, are you sure you're not projecting? Because yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, or no, not sure what you mean, but whatever it is, I hope you figure it out. It sounds like an inner conflict to me. You know, so I got tested, and I'm sure my integrity is going to continue to be tested. Further, there's a trial right now that I'm in, that is really, you know, an actual court case, and you know, it's the same situation. I'm welcoming the test of my integrity, not only of my personality, my honesty and such, but also of what I'm made of. Like, who am I? And can I stand my ground without being defensive? Can I just be who I am and that be enough? Without explanations, without having to like prove myself, without having to defend myself. Can I just be and that be enough? And that's my question to you. Can you just be who you are now and that be enough without having to give a whole bunch of explanations to people for things? Because you have become something more than you were, and you are going to be tested about it, or you are going to be put in a situation where you have to prove that you are who you say you are. So when Spirit knocks on your door, if Spirit hasn't already done that, just be ready to answer, and just don't be alarmed, don't be worried. Just answer the questions and be like, oh, is there anything else you need? Oh, okay, well, thank you for your time. So that's exactly what's going on right now. Okay. Also, I want to leave you with this. One of the metaphors I left you all a couple of weeks ago is that of a piano tuner who tunes pianos. Okay? And so you are a tuner. You are a tuning fork. Your vibration, your frequency is sufficiently high that when you move into circles, when you move among people, you are actually entraining them to your frequency. If you're on here, you're a light worker. If you're following me, you're a light worker. You're someone who is going to positively impact those that you encounter. And so remember that it is incumbent on you to check yourself, to make sure that you're not lapsing into expired patterns, making sure that you're not just reacting and getting triggered unnecessarily. That when you see these opportunities of conflict that come to you, do not engage in the conflict. Just see it for what it is and just be. Okay? Practice just being without feeling like you have to engage or feeling that you have to react. Because all that's doing is testing that you know who you are, that you understand your roots, that you understand what makes you tick, and that there's really nothing for you to explain or prove to anybody. You don't have to defend yourself. So go through your integrity tests. You can do it. Stand the test of time. Hold your ground. Declare who you are. Declare what you are. Declare what you're doing. And don't apologize for it. Of course, be courteous, and if you owe someone an apology, you better, you want to be the first to do it, right? Hi, She Loves Words. How are you? Good to see you. So we are talking about the Cosmic Census that's happening right now, like for the past 2 or 3 days, and it's going to go on for maybe another couple of days. But there's a Cosmic Census test going on, Cosmic Census, where Spirit is going to knock on your door to confirm whether or not you're supposed to still be in that same station you were in. 10 years ago, maybe that was your address, but is it your address today? Should you still be there? And if you are you making the correct plans that are going to cause your future to unfold in the trajectory that you're supposed to be on? Are you doing the internal work of self-development that is needed for you to blossom and unfold into this amazing divine avatar that you are? You are an inflection of light from God. You are God being you. Boyd, you are God being Boyd. She Loves Words, you are God being She Loves Words. So make sure that you're representing your sector of God well. And that you are all of the upgrades and all of the downloads that you have received. Make sure you are installing those and applying those, and making sure that you're becoming more and more and more and more who you're really supposed to be according to that authentic blueprint that you are. because you represent God. You actually represent the divine creator in a very specific and unique way, relevant to your unique life story. You have a specific kind of love, a facet of love that only you can shine on to the world. And we need your unique facet of love shown to everyone so that we can all learn from it and become better than we are. And everybody is so important. Everybody is so important. Do not think that your role is not as important as somebody else's role. It's like the pinky toe thinking that the pointer finger is more important than pinky toe. No. What in the world would you do without your pinky toe? Spend one day without your pinky toe and let's see how life goes. No, you need that pinky toe. You need that those molecules that are in your eye. Everything that makes up who you are is necessary. You are, listen to me, you are as necessary as the sun. You are as necessary as the sun. Okay? So that's all I have for everybody. I will stay a little bit longer if you have any questions. If you have